What is up, guys? Ricardo here. Have not posted a video in a while. Sorry about that. I've been kind of busy with Pokemon and whatnot. But anyways, today we are going to be going over the top 10 cards of Sun and Moon Burning Shadows, the third Sun and Moon expansion. This one isn't as good as Guardians Rising. There's not that many game-changing cards, but there are definitely a few archetypes that are sure to stand out. I didn't do any honorable mentions because I don't know. It's just they all suck anyway. No, it's like I don't know. They're not very important, so I'm just going to skip over the ones that I sort of think are gimmicky and get right to the top 10. Number 10, I have Kingdra. This is probably one of my favorite cards of the new set because it is it's so gimmicky and I love it so much because of that. So we're actually going to jump to the second attack first. Tornado Shot does 90, you discard the water. It does 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so it is like Darkrai from Dark Explorers, except it's for 1 energy and you have to discard it, which is not a problem because you can get it back. You can simply just attach another one. Its other attack, Brian, does 90 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters. So the idea is you Tornado Shot for 90. With Choice Band is actually 120. So yeah, you pretty much hit for 120, 2-shot on pretty much anything except maybe the 250 beast, and even then you can Kukui. And even if they retreat, switch out of it, you can brine, hit them on the bench. So Kingdra, I really like it. Plus, you can rare candy up to it. You can also use Starmie to get back those energy if you don't want to have to like draw one every turn. I suppose retrieval could be a viable option, but I like Starmie to ensure you have the energies every time. As with Volcana and Greninja, Starmie is a really noteworthy inclusion. Also, I'd like to mention that Kingdra just absolutely destroys Volcanion. I have not tested the matchup, but I don't know how it would ever lose other than to its own inconsistencies. You hit 180 for 1 energy, you do 30 to something else, probably their Turtonator, and you just go crazy from there. Even if they retreat, you can brine knock out the Volcanion. And Volcanion is probably going to be one of the top decks for the next season. So if you really want to counter Volcanion hard, Kingdra is the way to go. We don't have dive balls because those are going out of format, but I don't know. Kingdra's good. Look up. Number 9, we have Tapu Fini GX. Tapu Fini, kind of really bad at first look. First attack is 20, then you get to switch it. It's all right. Choice Band makes it 50. For 1 energy, it's not bad. It's like Drampa with the energy discard. Second attack, Hydro Shot. You discard 2 water energies, which isn't a problem really with Aqua Patch. You can get them right back on. And it does 120 to anywhere on the board, kind of like what we saw with Kingdra. Kind of that whole idea of sniping your opponent, sniping their primary attackers no matter where they are. Really, really powerful. And then this GX attack, Tapu Storm. Shuffle your opponent's Pokemon into their deck. That's pretty much it. But you can't use it if you can't use Tapu Storm if they don't have your bench Pokemon. So, yep, kind of ruins the whole Donk idea. But if you're going up against something with a lot of energy and or stage 2, aka Metagross, Tapu Fini can be really, really strong. I would definitely see one of these if you're playing Waterbox, aka Patch City. Tapu Fini, definitely a one of in that archetype. You can go check out Israel Sosa's article, Someone's PC, if you want to read more about that. But yeah, the idea is you pretty much have like a buttload of energy on the board anyways. You just power up to Tapu Fini, and you can either Aqua Ring for quick damage, Hydro Shot for snipe, or Tapu Storm for disruption, all of which are completely viable options. Manaphy EX lets you obviously retreat in this whole water box sort of thing, so you can get out Tapu Fini right when you need, and it really helps in the Volcanion matchup against if you're playing anything that isn't Lapras and doesn't destroy Volcanion, Rainbow Energies and Tapu Storm, I Theorymoned it, might not be as powerful as it looks. Of course, after Turtonator's Nitro Charge, definitely not as powerful. But if you send all of their energies back to the deck instead of to the discard pile, it could be really, really powerful. So Aquafina GX, very interesting tech option, but I wouldn't expect to see it in too many decks. Number 8 is Ho-Oh GX. I've had very mixed feelings about this card. Very, very, very mixed feelings. Primary contender, obviously, Fire type Pokemon, Volcanion EX. But yeah, onto Ho-Oh. So its first attack, it snipes for 50 for 3 energy. It's a horrible energy cost for a mediocre attack. I suppose it could be sort of nice in some options, but I can't imagine it being too viable. Second attack is what you're going to be using Ho-Oh for, at least in Volcanion. It does 180, and this Pokemon cannot attack this Pokemon cannot use Phoenix Burn, so you can still use the other attack. Sorry. So it's like Metagross. And then GX attack, Eternal Flame. Put 3 in combination of Fire EX or Fire GX on your bench. Good for recovery, sure, maybe. Not a good use of the GX attack. Turtonator would be 10 times better. But anyways, Phoenix Burn is good for one purpose only. Ho-Oh does not have a water weakness, so if you're playing against Greninja, playing against Waterbox, you do not have to worry. I learned this the hard way against my good old friend Pokemaster Kenny. Ho-Oh does not have a water weakness, so you force him to find that choice band if you're playing Fighting Fury Belt, which you should. You force them to find the Field Blower and the choice band instead of just not even caring about either and hitting for weakness. So that's really the only reason that you'd play Ho-Oh. And yeah, like I said, get around Lapras. And I want to bring up Incineroar GX because Ho-Oh's GX attack, Eternal Flame, does not specify they have to be basic Pokemon. So you could, in theory, get out 3 Incineroar GXs. Probably only practical in the expanded format due to you having Battle Compressor. Get these in the discard pile whenever you want. But getting 3 Incineroars on your bench, 250 monster, Hustling Strike, 10 plus 20 more for each bench. And it has a couple sort of nice attacks, but just kind of a fun little deck idea. Ho-Oh Incineroar. Would not try that in standard, but yeah, expanded, I could totally see it. Number 7, Marshadow GX. Marshadow has an ability really, really, really interesting. I was super hyped when this card came out. I love Marshadow, one of my favorite Pokemon. But the ability is Shadow Hunt. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile, but you still have to have the correct amount of energy. Now, this completely replaces Mew in decks like Night March. Yeah, boy, Marshadow is going to make Night March busted. The idea is you Battle Compressor away all of your Night Marchers, and the reason why people ran Mew from Fates Collide is so you could have an alternate attacker um, without worrying about like you not having any Night Marchers. Or sorry, the reason why people run Mew is that so you can have more Night Marchers in the discard pile without having to worry. But now with Marshadow, you can have all of your Night Marchers in your discard pile. Yay! Making it even more busted. And you can even combine it with Focus Sash to make it even more tanky. Its next 2 attacks are pretty alright. Beat down 120. Peerless 100 blows. What a name. 50 times number of energy, basic energy attached to him. I could sort of see it. But yeah, the ability is going to make Night March just stupid and expanded. It is a GX, but you can use Focus Sash to completely negate that. And also, it is good in the Turbo Dark archetype, only because you can pretty much have a Darkrai on the board at all times. Ability lets it hit multiple other threats, such as, I don't know, Tapu Koko coming up. Has a couple more things for weakness there. So, good attack in Turbo Dark. Number 6, Necrozma GX. Necrozma is the correct pronunciation. Sorry, Kenny. So, Necrozma, very underwhelming. I remember when the leaks came out, everyone was super mad because we're like, Necrozma, why you do this? You had so much potential. You're like the Ultra Beast of the planet Earth. You're not like an Ultra Beast, but you're still like super badass, and it's like so underwhelming. But anyways, look into the card. Why do I have a number 6 if it's that underwhelming? Ability Light Sign, prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks from colorless Pokemon. Sure. It blocks Mega Rayquaza, it blocks the Shaman Sky Return. Hex Maniac is unfortunately still a thing, so the ability means completely nothing. So, moving on to the first attack, Prismatic Burst. Does 10, discard all Psychic Energy, and it does 60 more. Kind of a mediocre Genesect. It's a mediocre Genesect, because you don't have Psychic Energy recovery. Well, you do. I will get into that later. But you don't have Bronzong to get back Psychic Energies. And for you, we only have Bronzong to get back Metal Energies, so it makes it even worse. But the main reason why I put Necrozma up here is because of its killer GX attack, Black Ray. Does 100 to all of your opponent's EX or GX. Now, for 3 energy, it's kind of underwhelming. But we got this cool little card in Expanded called Dimension Valley. So you can use Necrozma's Black Ray attack for a DCE in combination with this guy in Expanded, Item Lock, Silent Fear, Necrozma to finish off. It's just Necrozma Trevenant is the top deck in Japan. I just went to Japan, got some insider information. But Expanded, this is definitely a strong deck. It beats pretty much everything. If you don't snipe out the Night Marchers, because you're not playing Night March, Necrozma, Black Ray, everything, for a single DCE, and then Silent Fear, Item Lock, the rest. So definitely really strong card in Expanded. But you guys might be wondering, what about Standard? No one cares about Expanded. Well, we got this cool little guy in Standard, Metagross GX. Really came up to popularity when Chris Szymanski piloted it to the second place finish at the Madison Regional Championships. Do I think it's a really strong deck? Not really, but it's definitely, a lot of people are playing it. Once you get set up, it's really hard to stop this thing. The problem is setting up, but Necrozma GX, I could definitely see getting put in Metagross, because you have things like Espeon GX, you have things like Gillespie GX, things with more than 180 out of Choice Band Giga Hammer range. So the idea is to use Necrozma, get 3 energies, and it's really easy if you have 3 Metagross in play. You just triple Geotech to Necrozma, Black Ray GX, get the 100 damage on all of the tanky Pokemon, and then Giga Hammer everything to death. So yeah, Necrozma GX, really probably one of the best tech cards in the set. Number 5, we have Darkrai GX, probably the coolest looking Pokemon in the whole set. One of them, there's one other one, which I'll get to later. It has this really cool ability called Restoration. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put it onto your bench and take a Dark Energy from your discard and attach it to him. So it's kind of like Ho-Oh from Dragon's Exalted. Instead of flipping a coin and getting to bring out 3 energies, no coin flipping, you bring out 1. Kind of, I would say it's better. Overall I would say it's better than Ho-Oh because you don't have to rely on a coin flip. And with Ho-Oh, you're really only bringing out 1 type of energy anyways. With Rainbow Road and Expanded, that's really all you're doing. So you don't really need all 3 energies unless you're like Ninja Boy, Mewtwo, or some weird crap like that. But yeah, Restoration, really good, especially with this guy in Standard, as we will see. You pretty much want to throw this guy away, Ultra Ball him away with a Dark, bring him out. I would say you don't have to Elixir. You can still Elixir. You can Elixir and get this Dark on the discard pile. So yeah, Turbo Dark is going to come back in Standard, maybe as a tier 2, definitely as a tier 1. But yeah, cool little way to get energies out. First attack, Dark Cleave. It does 130, not affected by resistance. Pretty good. I would say it's like Darkrai, Dark Explorers, Night Sphere. It's a little bit worse. I don't know. It does more damage overall, but it's like mediocre, like Marshadow's. And then it's GX attack, Dead End. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, that Pokemon is knocked out. So, Hypnotoxic Laser, where you at, pretty much ensures that if you laser them, just a straight up knockout, don't have to have all of those energies on board. People are rare. I know Rare Candy posted a video with Salazzle. Uh, they're great and all, but that's just, I don't think it's very good at all because it's using Salazzle for one GX attack. The GX attack not really viable in standard, but in expanded, I could totally see it with Hypnotoxic Laser. But in expanded, this deck is going. I don't know people how much. I guess people don't care about expanded. They just don't talk about it. But this deck is going to be bonkers in expanded because we have Darkrai, we have Dark Patch, we have Battle Compressor. You Battle Compressor all these things away. You Elixir, you Dark Patch. It's like Turbo Dark, but like a million times better with this Darkrai GX. You can literally run all three Darkrai's, and yeah, oh my god, this is absolutely disgusting. So I mean, it's good. It's good. But you may be asking me, what are you gonna do? No battle compressor. What are you gonna? Well, we got this guy, Sophocles. Some people say they're on a heavy Sophocles line. The Darkrai, I disagree with that, only because it's not really that good. You can just Sycamore instead. But this guy says discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. Yeah, discard Darkrai in the dark, draw 4 cards. Whoop-de-doo. I could totally see this as a one of in Darkrai, especially with Tapu Lele. You could Ultra Ball for Lele, get this guy out. Then discard what you need. So, yeah, that makes it slightly viable in standard. And my favorite application of Darkrai, Xerneas Rainbow Road, my favorite deck ever. The problem with Rainbow Road is once that Skyfield gets replaced, it's hard to get those Pokemon out. I'm not playing Rainbow Road Expanded. It's the decision I made of doing that is just so worth it. I just love it so much. It's so much more consistent, so much faster with compressor, with all the tools like execute and all that stuff. But anyways, when Skyfield gets replaced, you have to discard until you have 5. Getting a replacement Skyfield isn't that hard, but you have to get the replacement Pokemon. So the idea is with Xerneas, you have Darkrai on your bench as another type. You discard Darkrai when your Skyfield gets replaced, and you don't even have to bring up a Dark Energy. But if you get a Skyfield, you get to plop this guy right on your bench. That's why Execute is so good in Rainbow Road Expanded. So yeah, so stop talking about Rainbow Road. I could talk about that all day. But yeah, that's Darkrai. Probably one of the best abilities in the game. By one of I mean like not nearly as good as Tapu Lele, but it's probably one of the best abilities in the game. I really like it. Really strong card. Number 4, we have Gardevoir GX. Now this is the tier 1 best card in the set. Whatever. I mean, there's one more card which you'll see, which I like better than Gardevoir. But I mean, I like literally when I saw the Gardevoir the scans, I was like so over like all over this card. It was just like everything about it is amazing. 230 HP. Its ability lets you attach an extra fairy, and keep in mind this stacks. I don't think people understand that this stacks. It's not. It's not just you get to attach 1 energy extra per turn and it doesn't stack. No, it does stack. So if you have 3 Guardians in play, 3 fairy energies plus your manual attach for the turn. Its attack is called Infinite Force. Does 30 times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. Look familiar? I thought so. Yeah, Gardevoir is pretty much a better Mega Mewtwo, can attack for 1 energy. Its ability is like what Mega Turbo was for Mega Mewtwo. It's just so good. And its attack, its GX attack, shuffle 10 cards from your discard pile in your deck. Seems absolutely broken, but in application, not too amazing. I guess you can't get decked out. That's good. But you literally just have this powerhouse where if you get 2 Guardy set up, you can double Secret Spring. You can attach a DCE to power up Infinite Force. It's not basic energies. It's not fairy energies. It's any energies. So yeah, no, it's really really good. And the not the best part about Guardy. The best part is probably the ability and the attack in 1 card. But kind of icing on the cake, we got Gallade evolves from the same Ralts and Kirlia that Gardevoir does. Can get this guy out. Premonition is a stupid good ability, and Sensitive Blade is a stupid good attack. So just another little guy. You can hit Turbo Dark for weakness because Turbo Dark is probably No, it's still in your favor. I was thinking them like dark resistance. Yeah, it's still in your favor. Just like completely obliterate it if you weren't concerned about the magic enough. Yeah, super good ability on a Pokemon that evolves from Ralts and Kirlia. And another tech that's noteworthy of mentioning, ran in the Japan national winning list, is DN, because this deck did win Japan nationals. If you're wondering why I even mentioned this card, because it's good. Um, so the Yancee's first attack, Sparkling Wish, for a single fairy, search your deck that evolved from one of your Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon. It's pretty much like a better Alolan Vulpix, where you get to put the Pokemon right on there. You don't have to worry about getting End. If you don't get End, I suppose Vulpix is better because it's free energy cost. But in this deck, I think Sparkling Wish is better than Vulpix. You can play Vulpix, but if you get End, you're a lot of luck. But yeah, Guardy, definitely going to be tier one. Watch out for this. Metagross is probably also going to rise just to beat Guardy. But yeah, super good card. Watch out for it. Number three, my favorite Pokemon in the whole set. Spoiler: the next two aren't Pokemon; they are trainer cards. So number three, we have Golisopod GX. Now, the reason why this guy is absolutely busted is for his first attack called First Impression. If you remember from the video games, First Impression was an absolutely stupid attack where it was 90 damage if you on your first turn Golisopod was out. Just stupid good. You could just like First Impression literally and kill anything with Golisopod's absurd attack. And it's also equally as broken in the TCG. First Impression for one energy if this Pokemon was on the bench and became more active during this turn. This attack does 90 more damage. So 120 for one energy. Like if this doesn't scream busted, I mean I don't know what 120 for one energy, and you don't even have to worry about the stupid effect because you have Zoroark and you can just rush and retreat or stand and sorry, tell you. You can just stand and retreat, completely negate that. It's just so good. Um, Unfortunately, one shot potential for this is a little bit out of the way. People pair it with oops, I thought Laurentiis was next. People pair it with Laurentiis. Just so they can like get one shots. But Zoroark, you totally need Zoroark. You can two shot anyways. And yeah, next one, Super Scoop Up. You can Super Scoop Up serves. I love Super Scoop Up in this deck. Serves two purposes. One, scoop up Golisopod, bring up another one, and hit First Impression for 120 if you can't get a Zoroark. And two, heals off all the damage from Golisopod. So Golisopod is going to be two-shotting everything, and they can't two-shot you back if you scoop up. And you also have Max Potion because you're only running one energy most of the time on Golisopod. You can Max Potion, discard the one energy. It's 210, not the best HP, not the worst either. Nothing's really going to be one-shotting you. So Max Potion is just an insanely good card in this deck. So pretty much the idea is just like First Impression, Max Potion, scoop up, blah, blah, blah. And then keep hitting for 120 literally every turn of the entire game until you just win. That's the entire strategy. It's it's really good. Yeah, and his second attack is kind of insignificant. 100 for Grass and DCE, reduces damage by 20. 20 doesn't really matter at all. There's not really any situations where you're going to need to tank to 20. But his GX attack, Crossing Cut GX, I do really like. It's for 150. Choice Band makes it the magic 180, and you get to switch it. This is really good for like pretty much one-shotting things like Volcanion, Drampa, Bulu. Because just to give you that extra edge, because you can First Impression, but if you can't, train Max Potions and Scoop Ups, not really going to be good for you. And like I was saying, Laurentiis, we can Sunny Day, hit knockouts if you really want. Run, have your Floatstone count or something, switching cards. If you run like free switch, I suppose you could do Laurentiis, but I really don't like it because you get end late game, you're just kind of screwed. You can't pull your switches, so you need that Zoroark on board. So preferably, I go Zoroark over Laurentiis, but that's just me. And for Volcanion, currently we have Vaporeon. Its ability makes Golisopod a water type, stupid good against Volcanion. Like, guys, if you're going to Worlds, if anyone's going to Worlds and watching this, if you don't play Golisopod, it has good matchups against like everything in this format. Let's think. Against Volcanion, you have Vaporeon, so you're set. I guess you exchange knockouts, and the baby is kind of a problem. But with Lysander and stuff, you shouldn't really care. It's going to be an even press rate anyways. Uh, I could still see it being like a 60-40 Volks favor. But yeah, you beat that. You beat Guardy because you don't have any energy attached to you. They have to like pile them on so you can just max potion. You beat Turbo Dark because you just max potion. You beat so much just because of max. You beat Metagross because I mean no, Metagross is even. Sorry. His max potion. It's just Golisopod is just so good. I totally recommend anyone who's considering playing Golisopod build it right now. It's such a good card. But yeah, Golisopod, hype, 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 hype. Number 2 is Acerola. Some people call it Acerola. It's not. It's Acerola. Sorry, it's how Japanese say it. They're right. Acerola has one effect and one effect only. Put one of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all cards attached to it in your hand. Reminds you of AZ, but slightly, depending on how you think of it, slightly better, slightly worse. Slightly better because you get to return the cards attached to it. Slightly worse because you get to return the cards attached to it. Sometimes you want to discard the energy so you can use like I don't know, Mega Turbos or Volcanions, Power Heater attack to recycle the energies. But overall, it's a lot better of a card, especially when you're trying to conserve energies. Yeah, I can totally see this as a one of in every deck, except maybe like Volcanion, where you don't want to pick up all 3 energies in your hand. But every other deck, one of it, Acerola, it's just way too good not to negate your opponent of the extra couple prizes or whatever. You can Lele for it, so it's because it's the Forder. It's just a really good card. First impression, Golisopod, get it? First impression. Never mind. You can Acerola up a Golisopod with damage on it, making the max potion scoop up Acerola. Just oh my god, Golisopod's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's definitely one application. And you reset the effect, like I was saying with scoop up. Tapu Koko is going to be really, really annoying because you're gonna have Acerola, you're gonna have scoop up, you're gonna have max potion, the same goodies Golisopod has. I didn't mention Scoop Up is getting reprinted. I should probably mention that. But yeah, Acerola is going to make Tapu Koko really good. 3 or 4 is definitely the count in that deck. And then we have Decidueye. Obviously, Forest is banned next year, so we won't have this after August. But until then, for World Championships, Acerola is definitely going to be at least 2 of in Decidueye decks, just so you can conserve energy. Yeah, and you can actually reset Feather Arrow as well. You can Acerola, and you can put that into Decidueye right away with Forest Giant Plants, which is what I really like about it. That's why I really liked AZ and Expanded, but it wasn't good because you had to discard the energy, and now you don't. So Acerola, super, super, super good card. Buy a full art, please. They're like $67 in Japan. Just buy a full art. It's pre-order full art, whatever you have to do. On to number 1. If you haven't figured out by now, it's your boy, Guzma. Yes, your boy is back. I was expecting this card back in Sun and Moon base, but we didn't get it until the 3rd expansion, which is fine, worth the wait, totally worth the wait. As you can see, this full art version of Guzma is just stupid cool. You got the paint splatters in the background. So, what does Guzma do? Why should we care? Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon uh, with their active Pokemon. If you do, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench. So it's like Lysander, but better because you get to switch your Pokemon, which does a lot of things. It resets effects. So like Golisopod resets that first impression. Volcanion resets Volcanic Heat. Lapras resets Blizzard Burn. It resets effects. I mean, your boy. I mean, come on. And if you don't have to worry about oh, should I run an escape rope or a switch in my deck just in case I get? No, you don't have to because you have your boy. You pretty much can't ever get trapped with your boy. So now Lysandering that Hoopa or whatever, because Hoopa's still gonna be in format. Lysandering that Hoopa and just stalling it isn't a viable strategy because your boy. Everyone's gonna be playing 30 of your boy. It's going to be stupid good. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say. And because Lysander is going out of format, yeah, boy. I don't know what else to say. Guzma's good, really good. Buy your full arts. Buy your full arts now. Um, so yeah, that is the top 10 cards of Burning Shadows coming out August 3rd. Maybe don't quote me on that. Hopefully, I'm right. If I'm not, please don't destroy me in the comment section. But yeah, there's your top 10 cards of Burning Shadows. If you like this video, make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me any recommendations for any future videos, and I will see you guys next time.